And we can't rule out some icy patches on the roadways. I'll help you around any trouble spots we may see.
North Texas schools are open despite the cold. What parents need to know this morning.
This system stretching across the country. What does it mean for your travel plans? And we have team coverage across North Texas this morning.
I'm Natalie Haddad and I'm in Grapevine.
I'm Janelle Ford at Dallas Love Field Airport.
I'm Tiffany Liu in Fort Worth.
Live from downtown Dallas, you're up with Daybreak. Now, we have a lot going on, but we do want to start with a live look at breaking news for you. Crews in Corsicana battling a large fire in a warehouse park, and the winds and extreme cold are not making it easy on them. Chris Sadeghi, they're live. We're going to check in with him in just a minute.
But our big story this morning, surprise, it's the weather. This new video from just a couple of hours ago, and you can see flurries in Denton there. We do not have widespread snow, but we are waking up to the coldest temperatures of 2025. If you asked for it, hey, it's here. With much of North Texas in the teens this morning. Feels like temperatures reaching the negatives for some of you right now.
And that is why WFAA made today a weather alert day. ERCOT is taking notice too, issuing a weather watch starting today through Friday. We've been watching the supply and demand chart overnight. I want you to look at this. You can see when they get really close together, that's when we get concerned. But hey, at this point right now, they may be tight, but we've got power. We're good to go. Good morning. Thanks for being with us here on air and on WFAA Plus. I'm Kara Sewell.
And I'm Matt Howerton in for Mark. Most North Texas school districts, they are open today despite the frigid temperatures. And we know a lot of you are still headed to work as well. So we have team coverage to keep you safe and warm. Meteorologist Greg Fields and Mariel Ruiz, they are tracking the latest forecast and what we can expect over the next 48 hours. And Brianda Villegas is watching the roads because you could run into some slick spots here and there, especially on bridges and overpasses.
Yeah, we also have crews that are scattered across North Texas for you right now, and they are bundled up. Look at Natalie Haddad tracking the conditions, the airports, and what you can expect if you are sending your kids to the bus stop today. But first, before we get to them, let's go over to Greg right now for a look at the temperatures. When you walk out the door, we are feeling like below zero?
Below zero in many locations around. It is seriously, dangerously cold out there, as we mentioned. So please do take all the necessary precautions. If your car was out overnight, you might need that scraper, certainly the defrost, if you're going to be heading out here early this morning as well. Let's get you on out the door right now, taking you out to Fair Park. We're looking at 14 right now. -4, though, is the wind chill. So that's what it feels like. We'll have those strong north winds in that 15, 25 mile per hour range with some higher gusts. We'll show you those coming up here a little bit later. But yes, it is quite cold out there for you this morning. 14 in McKinney, 12 coming over to Fort Worth we have dipped to right now, and 10 getting out to Mineral Wells along with Decatur. But factoring in those winds here early this morning, look at these wind chills. -5 taking you out to Fort Worth, -8 in Denton right now. 10 below is what it feels like heading over to Mineral Wells, and you can see that below zero readings heading up to McKinney, Sherman, Gainesville, all the way out to Bonham and Paris here this morning. So yes, it's cold all across North Texas. We've talked about a few flurries. We'll talk more in detail about these. There's still a few flakes flying around as we zoom into the metroplex. That won't be a big deal, not amounting to a whole lot at all on the road. So that's the good news, but still a weather alert day. We're going to carry that right on into tomorrow morning because of the seriously cold temperatures. We're going to have those lows back down into the lower teens, maybe some single digits again for tomorrow morning with those below zero wind chills. So hopefully you've taken all the necessary precautions that we always talk about, the 4 Ps, and you've downloaded the WFAA weather app. Now we will actually see some sunshine today, believe it or not, but temperature's not going to warm up a whole lot at all. We'll likely not hit 30 degrees today. Certainly not going to get above freezing, only around 29 as you come home later today. But we will have some partly to mostly sunny skies, but still those brisk north winds at 15 to 25. More here in just a few minutes, but now let's get over to Brianda checking on traffic.
Thanks, Greg. All right, for those of you drivers in Kaufman County, here's a live look at 20 at Trinity. There were some flashing lights here a couple of seconds ago, but it looks like it actually cleared as of right now. There weren't reports there of a collision, but I just wanted to give you a live look in Kaufman County so you could see how the roadways are doing. But let's get closer to Dallas. All right, Dallas County, live look at 20 near the George Bush Tollway. So we did talk to the North Texas Toll Authority, and they did tell us that they're not seeing a lot of major issues here. You could see traffic is actually moving along without a problem there. But let's look closer to 35E at the Dallas North Tollway. Yep, traffic is starting to build up there in those northbound lanes. So just wanted to give you a heads up there. If anything changes, if any of those icy conditions cause any major issues, I will definitely keep you updated and let you know. Back to you.
Okay, thank you again, Brianda. So we are following that breaking news in Corsicana right now, about an hour south of Dallas, where the cold is challenging firefighters as they battle flames.
Yeah, Chris Sadeghi is there live. Chris, it's been a pretty active morning in that area. What are you seeing right now?
Yeah, plenty of challenges for the fire department, Matt, as they have to run their hoses from back here on the road. That's why they have it shut down to traffic. A lot of cars coming and making a U-turn, but then they have to run it all the way down over to where you can see the orange glow where the fire is, we're told, in a warehouse park. Now, I will say within the last hour, that glow is not as intense as it was when we talked to you at 5 o'clock. So perhaps that's a sign that they are making progress on the fire, but they are quite a ways from where we are back here on the road, so we're not able to get the updates like we had hoped. However, we can tell you that we know it is extremely cold, and that only complicates things, especially when you're dealing with water and having to run hoses, and also when you consider the winds. We always know that that can cause issues when the fire department is out trying to put flames out. This is in a neighborhood. We're not sure how many neighbors might be affected or what caused the fire, if anybody was in the warehouse. Those are all questions that we're awaiting to get answers. However, as I mentioned last time, when things do get cold, people try to stay warm and sometimes unwittingly can start these fires, be it with space heaters or any other type of heat source. So that's something for everybody to keep in mind as we try to get through this cold snap. Matt and Kara.
Yeah, we know it's dangerous for them out there too. Thank you, Chris. So we don't talk about lake effect snow often in North Texas, rarely ever, but we've been seeing it overnight.
Yeah, Natalie Haddad, she's live at Grapevine Lake, where we have seen heavy fog and even flurries. Natalie, you are bundled up. What are you seeing right now?
I don't know what I'm seeing. I feel like I'm seeing like television static. It is so cold out here. I feel like this isn't just bone chilling cold. This is take your breath away cold. You know, it is also windy out here. You may be able to see some of the flurries around me because of the lighting, but even if you can't, what you can see is what's going on behind me on Grapevine Lake. This fog, the water evaporating from the relatively warmer waters up into like meeting this Arctic air, causing this lake effect snow. I've personally never seen this in Texas. I know it's a little more common than we would think, but this is such a bizarre scene, at least for myself, and I'm sure many viewers out there to see here in North Texas with just as cold as it is. And again, the flurries just from this lake effect snow. Now, this actually started last night. Check out some of this video we have that we got from this area. Also, you may be if you are up right now and you are living near one of the area lakes in North Texas, this is probably the site. We did, as we were driving in, also see the flurries even from the far entry of the marina that we are in. So really just a spectacular thing to check out. Now I am going to send it over to meteorologist Maria Ruiz because she has a full explanation on how this goes down, because really this is just truly incredible, not just the temperatures out here, but the lake effect snow in Texas.
Yeah, and they report on this a lot more often in, say, areas like Buffalo, where lake effect snow is much more common. Now, for us, I'm calling it lake effect flurries because that's really to the extent that we're seeing. There are some other factors at play that are causing some snow flurries across other parts of the area. So I'm going to show you here. You can see that snow kind of piling in from north to south, and it's very light. It's too dry at the surface for any of this to accumulate. So this light snow, it's actually snow grains forming at the base of what's called a temperature inversion. In this case, it's an elevated layer of warm air. So think of a stack of pancakes. So that top pancake is an elevated layer of warm air, and it's humid air, and it's sitting over the freezing air at the surface, or that bottom pancake. And where those two meet is where this snow grain is developing. Now, the heavier snow, in order for that to happen, it needs to happen higher up in the atmosphere, and we just don't have the conditions proper for that. But this is what it looks like whenever you see an elevated camera like the one at Cedar Hill. You see that temperature inversion snow grain happening. Okay, so not only that, but we also have obviously that lake effect
snowpack snow that Natalie was talking about, this is only going to be on the southern side of the lake, so it's not going to be for everyone. Natalie is in a prime spot to see it. Relatively warm water. The Arctic air moves in. It's cold, it's dry. Where those two meet, that's where the heat and moisture rises. That moisture condenses and the snowflakes fly. And whenever you have wind gusts of 25 to 35 miles per hour like this morning, you see it kind of push on the southern side of those lakes. So quite interesting to see this morning. Good news, this is not going to impact our roadways. Back to you.
All right. Thank you so much, Mario. We will have school closures along with our current temperatures scrolling on your screen right down there on your right. Make sure you have your free streaming app here, WFAA Plus, starting at 7 a.m. We're going to be bringing you an extended hour of daybreak with team weather coverage across North Texas, and our meteorologist will bring you updates throughout the day as well. You can download WFAA Plus now to your Roku, Fire TV, or Apple TV.